Hey, what's up, guys? So just a quick video that I've been coming to this realization more internally, more and more, and it's been speaking some pretty cool things where I realized, like, man, this has been a missing key. And so I'm going to share it with you and also reflect on some of the recent sort of applications that I found with it, and just other things I've heard reflected. So I guess the reason why I was thinking about this most recently was I was watching a video with Zoltan and Danny Goler, and Zoltan from Five Finger Death Punch. And he was talking about how he only makes these decisions from alignment. And like anytime he wants to start a project, no matter what it is, it has to feel aligned. And more than that, the people who are involved in it, that he's going to have relationships with, they have to be aligned as well. And he said, because these things that we're doing are building power. And if I allow power to develop in the wrong hands, and somebody that's going to use that power in a way that could be detrimental to themselves or someone else or the project or what have you, I wouldn't feel right about that. And I'm just paraphrasing kind of what he said, but he's like, this is just something I've kind of always known. And so I put it into practice for the last 30 years. This is what has really helped me become successful in all these different areas. And it got me thinking, because what I feel like he's talking about on a, if I want to, obviously it's alignment, right? Alignment on your mind, body, and spirit. But what I've been feeling coming up more in myself, I've just been referring to it as this mind-heart coherence. So it's this sense of a joining of the mind and the heart. And the heart kind of has this stable pulse, stillness, and warmth. And so when it's connected to the mind, then the mind tends to sort of vibrate in synchrony with it on some level. I mean, this is just what I'm experiencing. I'm just trying to describe the internal of it. But when it started happening, I began to recognize, because like, oh, wait a minute, this is something new. Like I've sort of glimpsed this before, but it hasn't been like a thing. It's just like ongoing, like a frequency that I can emit just by having these connected here. And so it got me thinking, like, why did this come about? What brought this on? Was the catalyst? And again, coming back to alignment, realized I made some changes, in my lifestyle. I've been training, of course, and building more chi and energy inside and things like this as well. And so working at it from both ends, right? Because the habits and things that deplete our chi, whether it's overthinking or future projections not being present, fear, anger, resentment, anything we're holding on to, obviously, or even like over attachment to things, hyper focus on something, can take us out of it, or sedation, distraction, all that kind of stuff, right? Suppression. All these kinds of things can take us out of it, and we maybe flutter in and out of it if we're lucky, but it doesn't really stabilize. And what I was thinking is like, the stabilization is really where the secret is. It's where the magic happens. Because I'm feeling like, I'm just talking about my own internal kind of thought process, what I'm sensing, the patterns I'm recognizing and things, and what I'm trying to apply so that I can live my life according to what I perceive as best I can, that alignment again. And so it's like the more aligned that we become, the more energy we have. The more energy we have, the more, these spaces can connect, or the deeper things can open up inside of us. And then it can, of course we can do practices, but it's sometimes just spontaneous, where the quality starts emanating, and it's like, oh, whoa, that's something. And then it's like, well, okay, well, what do I do to keep this? What do I do so that I don't lose this? Because if I want to interact with anything of a mystical nature, with the hidden realms, whether it's manifestation or working with, various psychonautic tools and molecules, or any kind of paranormal things like that, whatever I might be into, and I'm not saying I'm into those things particularly, maybe I am, but I'm just saying this it's a broad spectrum approach that really, whether you're building a business, whether you're starting a project, whether you're trying to figure out what type of relationship you want to have or where you want to live, any of these kinds of things, I think this really is paramount, because it's it's giving us an edge in that we're not just living in this mechanistic 3D world, but we're attuning ourselves to, there's some other forces at work here, hidden forces, invisible realms. And if we start to pay attention and tune in, and again, this is one of the ways that we can really tune in and pay attention, because when this is, manifest, when this is happening, this heart-mind coherence, we become very present, very alert, very stable, kind of emanating a natural warmth. So that's kind of a naturally attractive quality. And we're calm and calm, relaxed, feeling at home within ourselves. Now, how can we not produce much better results coming from that state just across the board? But again, if we're going into some sort of mystical realms or non-material planes or anything like that, lucid dreaming, astral projection, if we have this heart-mind coherence, it's a stabilizing force, it's a grounding force. And it will help us to maintain our presence of awareness, our present moment awareness, and not react to whatever stimuli, whatever we encounter, but to be present with it so that we can extract the most from the experience and remain in a place where we feel supported. Yeah. So that was mainly what I wanted to talk about, just kind of like getting it out there and seeing, what you guys think as well. If anyone else is experiencing things like this, it seems to be kind of a segue to the deeper embodiment of the whole thing, the whole phenomena. I mentioned on a recent video, I had this, experience where just like the self energy let go, and it poured into everything that I was aware of, and it was just like I became one with everything, but I was also myself. So it wasn't like a complete and total non-dual experience. I've had those before as well. Certain things like 5-MeO-DMT are reliable at producing that state. And I made a video, a couple years ago about my experience with that. But it wasn't that, because I still felt just like I feel, just myself, except I was everything at the same time. Oh, it was glorious. It was such an amazing experience. And that has been, it feels like this heart-mind coherence is like a gateway or a portal to that experience, or a condition, let's say, perhaps, that sort of must be established through that process. Because again, it's coming on more and more, not as intense, but very nicely and softly. But just even in regular everyday reality. So just like even now, sitting here talking with you, I feel this joining that's happened, that we're not actually really separate, but that we're inside the same thing, we're made of the same thing, and that same thing is connected to itself. So anyways, pretty cool. Love you guys. I hope that was something to think about. By all means, I'll see if I can put some tabs on the video if you want to find any of those other videos. But nonetheless, appreciate you for watching. Much love. Having a fantastic weekend. I hope you are as well. All right. See ya.